What up, YouTube? It's your boy Dan, a Lakers fan, coming to you guys again with another Laker rumor that I wanted to address and give you guys my thought on what I thought about it. Now, recently there were rumors that the Clippers were Kristaps Porzingis tweeted that he'd like to go to the Clippers or something like that. In other words, he said Clippers and a bunch of smiley face emojis, implying that he likes the Clippers. And later on, came out and said that his account was hacked, like this. Um, but it's well documented that Kristaps Porzingis is not happy with the Knicks organization because of the evil treatment of their All-Star Carmelo Anthony. And honestly, they've done a disservice. Phil Jackson has done a disservice to the city. As great as a coach as Phil Jackson was, he's not a good GM or president of basketball operations or whatever his title there is. He hasn't done a great job. That team has instead of rising like he promised the city, they've actually went on the decline. Even though he did a great job of drafting Porzingis, but I think that was a fluke. I think he just drafted the kid based on his height and upside, right, and maybe the fit in the triangle offense, because Phil Jackson likes bigs who can hit the mid-range shot and play in the post, a la Pau Gasol. But I think Kristaps Porzingis is a unicorn, like they call him. He is one of those rare specimens. He's 7'3" with a 7'8" wingspan, guys. Basically an 8-foot wingspan, and he's athletic. He could take it to the hole. He has post game. He could stretch out to the 3-point line, and he's pretty good on ball defender and a good interior defender as well. Now, there was a rumor that supposedly he wasn't happy with the New York Knicks organization, and he shouldn't be, right? Who would be happy with the way they treat any teammate of yours, if they treated him just like Carmelo, with so much disrespect? And not even the fans are happy with Phil Jackson at this point, but there's rumors that Kristaps wants out. His agent has been trying to get him traded, and supposedly the Knicks are considering trading him. I'm not sure about this rumor because it's not logical. Who would trade a rare specimen type of a player like Kristaps Porzingis? New York would hang Phil Jackson and James Dolan if he even considered trading him. But you never know. I've seen crazier things happen. The DeMarcus Cousins trade for Buddy Hield, that was ludicrous. Who would have thought? If I told you last season before the season started that DeMarcus Cousins would get traded for Buddy Hield, you probably would have laughed at me, right? Buddy Hield and a couple other picks. But it happened. And so the Lakers need to be aware of the situation at all times. And if a player like Kristaps Porzingis is available, we got to be willing to give up a lot to get a player like that. Because imagine if we can somehow pair Brandon Ingram with Kristaps Porzingis. Now you got Paul George coming over in 2018 for sure. Maybe somebody else to come along with him. But that would be a young, promising, lengthy wing and a lengthy big inside to really bother people on both ends of the court. That would be a dream come true for me. Porzingis has been one of my favorite players. The Knicks are my second favorite team after the Lakers because I feel like the NBA is so much better when they do good. But at this point, if they wanted to trade him and they wanted a good deal, this is what I would offer for Kristaps Porzingis. Now, we all know that Phil Jackson was enamored by D'Angelo Russell coming out of the draft. They really wanted D'Angelo to fall to number 4 before we scooped him up in the 2015 draft. Obviously, we will have to include D'Angelo in the package, even though he's one of my favorite players. On top of that, the Knicks also like Jordan Clarkson. For Kristaps Porzingis, I would definitely include him in the package. And honestly, if they wanted Larry Nance or Julius Randle, I know you guys are going to say it's probably a lot, but Kristaps Porzingis is worth it. You only see one of those. He's a unicorn. You only see those players come along once every 10 to 20 years. I've never seen a player like that. I mean, 7'3", that mobile, that athletic, such a great jump shot, great poise, shows good leadership skills. He shows that he's not afraid of the moment. Him and Brandon Ingram would be amazing. So anything to avoid trading Brandon Ingram in this package because he's a must keep. Brandon Ingram, we've seen his potential. We know what he can do. Enough said. I don't have to really preach Brandon Ingram to you guys. You guys already know. Laker fans are one of the most educated fan bases out there because there's plenty of other ones as well. But I consider ourselves the most educated fan base. And definitely, we know Brandon Ingram's going to be an all-star, if not a superstar one day, for sure. So, like I said, D'Angelo Russell, Jordan Clarkson, and Julius Randle package I don't think the Knicks turn that down. Now, if you can get away with trading just D'Angelo Russell and maybe Larry Nance and like Tariq Black, you do it in a heartbeat. But if they want a little bit more, we have to consider trading both Clarkson and Julius Randle to sweeten the deal. Now imagine they get a young core and we get a for sure all-star that might also become a superstar in the future, and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, moving forward, you have Kristaps Porzingis at center or power forward, wherever you want to play him because he's versatile. Then you have Brandon Ingram at small forward. And, you know, we got to keep Tyler Ennis. Whoever we keep between Larry Nance Jr. can start in Julius Randle's place. Or if we keep Julius Randle, we start him. And we just fill out the roster from there. But we'd have two major pieces moving forward. Anyways, that's my idea if Porzingis was on the trading block. I don't know that he is, honestly, but we'll see what happens, guys. Anything's possible in the NBA. Even the players that seem the safest sometimes get moved, and I haven't been shocked. I remember when Darren Williams got traded from the Utah Jazz, even though he had a falling out with Coach Sloan, but they fired Sloan and they traded Darren Williams, so anything's possible. Darren Williams was at the top of his game at the time. He was considered the top point guard, tied with him and Chris Paul, even though most of us knew Chris Paul was the top point guard. But yeah, Darren Williams was up there. My point is that anything can happen at any point, and if since Kristaps Porzingis fell out of favor with the front office because he missed the exit interviews and the exit meetings or whatnot, and he's not complying with Phil Jackson, they might trade him. And they can right now is the best time to trade him if they do, because they're going to get maximum return for him. Now, if we keep the pick, is Kristaps Porzingis worth the pick? Yes, he is. Would I trade him? Yes, I would trade the pick for Kristaps, but I wouldn't give up as big of a package as I mentioned earlier, you know. I wouldn't give up D'Angelo if I give up the pick, because we're going to have to keep a guard somehow. So, you know, but I'm sure that Magic could come up with a pretty decent trade package without giving up Brandon Ingram. And hopefully not Ivica Zubac either, but Zubac is also somebody I would trade for Kristaps Porzingis in a package, you know. Obviously, we can't give up all four of them. We can't give up D'Angelo, Clarkson, Zubac, and, you know, fillers for Porzingis, but we can give up 2 or 3 of them. I definitely would. As long as their name isn't Brandon Ingram, I'd be cool with it. And like I said, it's just a player we have to look forward. We have to look for. If we're the front office, the Los Angeles Lakers, you always have to look to improve your team. If you can get a for sure commodity like Kristaps, then you go ahead and you make that move. If you can't, well, then we keep the young core in place and we look for other deals, or we look to add through free agency. Anyways, guys, the lottery is only 8 days away. Continue to cross your fingers. Continue to hope for the best. We got this, Laker Nation. Hopefully we keep the pick live stream coming May 16th. Keep it locked right here. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment and a like and tell me what you guys think. What kind of package would you guys throw at the Knicks for Kristaps to entice him to actually pull the trigger? I'm sure they're going to want a lot. That's the only reason I make such a hefty offer. Of course, if we can get away with just D'Angelo and maybe Clarkson, or just D'Angelo and maybe Julius, of course I pull the trigger in a heartbeat. As much as I love D'Angelo, you got to not be biased and know when a player is worth more. And Kristaps is definitely one of those players. He only comes around once every 10 to 20 years, maybe more. Like I said, I've never seen a player like that. I love that kid. He's one of my favorite players in the league for sure. So go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think. Appreciate you, Laker Nation. Peace out.